the interior and exterior parts. So let's go ahead and take the grid. I'm going to have it go above all the way up to the next layer so I can kind of see it above the sketch here or above this. And we'll start deciding rooms. And the way that I kind of go about doing this is let's go ahead and change the grid so I can kind of see the line work better. Bring the opacity up. There we go. Now I can kind of see it better. All right, here's how we're going to go about doing it. So this way I can kind of see the grid, and now I can decide on the increments in which how big each room is. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and choose the shape tool. I'll go to preview. That way I don't accidentally delete stuff that I don't want deleted, and I can edit it as need be. So what I'll do first is I'll go ahead and just choose a section. And we want to factor in, I think what I'll do is I'll make the stairwell tower. And I'll go minus. So here's our stairwell tower. And we might want to increase the width or the thickness of the wall. That's fine. And then I'll want to start creating, now that I can start putting down where the floor is. So let's put one here, like this. Let's go up a couple more. I think about 4 is a decent size, so we'll go minus here. This is going to be our first floor up. In fact, you know what? Let's not use stone. Let's actually hollow out the whole thing like this. This might actually work better because I think with a tower, to distribute the weight better, we'll have the floors themselves be made of wood so that way there's not this stone weight that kind of collapses on each floor. So we'll do that. That kind of makes more sense. And then I'll create some kind of entrance part right here, minus, and then we'll add an arch. Up here, we'll go minus. Now I have my archway that kind of leads into here. And then I'll want to create access. So I'll want to take this, go to subtract. We'll go to here and we'll delete. Oopsie, not circle, my mistake. I want a square. I'll go ahead and remove. Okay, let's go ahead and resize the map because I realized that there's some shape problems distance that I'm dealing with. We'll start by just bringing it up right here like this. We'll start there. And then I can create some more space because what I want is I want to have like a cellar at the bottom. And to do that, I need a little bit more space. Yeah, it's a line from the stroke of the stairway. Absolutely, Enderlurian. Yeah, and I think what happened was it was probably a bug with the preview part. And if I had just used subtract, it probably wouldn't have done that. So I'll definitely be doing some testing, bug testing on that to check it out. What's up with that, okay? All right, let's go ahead and add in the rest of these shapes part right here. Oops, my mistake. There we go. I'm going to unselect it. There we go. We'll go ahead and add the rest of the spaces here. There we go. Great. Okay. Now I have that, so I can go down, subtract. There we go. And now I've got some room here for this, and then I'll create that next floor. Oopsie, it looks like it's not snapping to grid, so let me turn snap to grid on. Put that back in place. There we go. Looks like it was not snapping in place, and that is problematic. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and subtract here, go all the way down to here, and then I want to have like a whole floor like right here. There's going to be something, a floor here, stairwell tower, perfect. Okay, turning out fine. So now we should establish each floor. We're going to use a stamp with a line tool for that. So I'll go here with the line. We'll go over to stamp, go into the catalog. We're going to choose wood because it's a lighter material. Again, it makes the most kind of sense to kind of use that. I'll go ahead and just make a floor. Don't worry about where you put it at first because you can move it. Make sure that snap to grid is on. There we go. I'm going to turn off the shadow. And I'll go ahead and bring it down a layer so that it's below the actual walls itself. So go ahead and select this. We'll choose layer, go down, just like that, layer down. And let's go ahead and make it a darker wood instead of a brighter one, just for now. So now I have a floor here, and I can decide where I want the floor to end and start here. So I think I'll have one floor be here. Since it's the bottom floor, we'll have it be more vaulted and taller than the other ones. And that vaulted feeling will also make it more stable as well. So what I think I'll do is I'll actually go here like this. And we'll have the bottom floor be stone and vaulted. That should alleviate some of the stress. So let's maybe have it go up to about, oopsie, I have it set to subtract, my bad. We'll go to add here. Oopsie, I want to make sure that they're connecting too. So that way they merge like this. There we go. And then I'm going to create a circle, subtract mode. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to create like this arch. Let's go to preview actually. There we go. Okay, now I can kind of control this arch here. I'm going to have it go all the way over to here. I'm going to push it down all the way to here like this. It's okay if it cuts out some of the floor. That's fine. We're going to put it back anyway. Okay, just want to make sure there's this nice vaulted kind of ceiling here. Let's push it one more this way. We're going to go to subtract. There we go. And then we'll do it again right here. Put that back. There we go. So now we have a vaulted floor here. I think that works great. And then we can also take this and then just place it right on top. So a wood part of the floor there. And then we can copy and paste and kind of decide how much taller the other floors are going to be. So I can put one there. Let's see here. Let's put another one there and then another one right here. Okay. I think this is kind of a realistic number of floors that we can kind of go with. That looks good. Let's go ahead and turn the grid off for now. I'll quickly save it. Okay. All right. So now that we've kind of put those floors together, we can start creating access points to each one of those floors. So the way that that works is pretty simple. We'll want to choose where each door is. So we'll go back into here. I'm going to go to subtract and we're going to delete some of these sections here. These are going to create kind of the doors. Oopsie, my mistake. I don't want to accidentally select it. There we go. Delete that one. Delete this one. Delete this one. There we go. And this way we have kind of access points. And then from here I can move each floor piece like this. There we go. Bring it down one here. Okay. And another one right here. Let's go bring this up to here. And I think this one, we can just remove that because we've already got a stone floor. I think that works fine. So now we have those entrances that lead into each floor. That makes total sense. And I do want to create maybe like a balcony. Someone mentioned a balcony, so we might want to consider adding a balcony piece in and maybe some kind of loo somewhere. I'm not so sure. But let's put the balcony here. We'll go to subtract and we'll start with this one right here. Oopsie. Got to have the scene selected first. There we go. Okay. So another access point that goes onto here. And I think I'll probably have to expand that out to there like that. Or you can create some stairs like this that goes down to this section right here. Okay. All right. That looks good. Let's go ahead and add in the parapet wall right here like this. Oopsie. Let's do it again. There we go. That looks good. Let me just take a step back and look at it. I think what I'll do is I'll also have these be vaulted as well. So the way that I'll go about doing this is I will take these as well. Let's go with 3 and 3 and then another one right here like this. And then I'll take the circle, go right here and then create some arches here. This should also help support some of the weight as well. Okay, it's all kind of coming together. You get it now? Now, what should I replace right here where there's supposed to be wall? And there's a lot of different options here that you can kind of go with. You can use the same texture, but make it darker. So for instance, I can take a piece like this. Let me go to the add mode real quick. Let me add this right here. And then you can go to the texture, adjust and bring the brightness down like this. Let me go ahead and turn the grid off so you can see it. And then you can place it right here like this. And then this can represent that the wall goes further back. See, you're using contrast to show that there's an opening here by using a darker piece. So I can just take that same piece and then place it right here like this. Now in the other map I used the color black, but you can totally do this as well. It works just fine as long as it shows that there's some kind of indentation there. And I should do the same thing right here. Put it right there. And then another one right here. And then I'll make 2 right here like this. Copy, paste, copy, paste. There you go. So not complex, right? And then I'll make the same thing right here as well. There we go. Okay, so now you have that basic setup, and I don't really need this sketch anymore because it's already kind of put together. So we have the general idea on how we want to put that part together. What we need to do is save it and then resize it, and we need to increase a little bit, make some more room on the right side and some more room on the top side. So we'll save, and then we'll resize it, and then we'll continue on with making the rest of it. So far, I really enjoy these maps. They are just so much fun to put together. My players really enjoy them, but what I try not to do is to take away the novelty of it. So I try not to have like 5 or 6 of these in, you know, an entire campaign, maybe just 1 or 2, because the point of making a map like this is this novelty, and I don't want to break the novelty by using these maps very often, right? Using them seldomly is kind of a great way. Oopsie, I just realized I goofed that up. I gotta go back. I didn't go off a little bit to the right. You kind of take away the novelty of a map like this when you use them often, so I don't recommend using them a whole lot. Players do love them, but all right, so now that we've done that part, we need to continue to extend more of the tower because we need to have a way for players to get into the tower. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to go back, we're going to select this stuff, and we'll extend more of the tower. So I'll go right here to make sure that snap to grid is on, and we're going to extend this further up so it goes further up. And then I think what we'll also do is we'll create, I think the roof will use a stamp. We don't necessarily have to use, oopsie, add, my mistake. There we go. Want to make sure that there's room there. And then of course, take one of these doors right here, copy and paste, and just place it right there. And now there's access to get up to this top floor. That's kind of important. And then we might want to consider making some flying buttresses as well. So I'll go ahead and take the grid, bring it back down to the bottom layer, and I'll switch it over to black. And then bring the opacity down. Let's make a flying buttress, because what you see here is you have this kind of tall wall right here. And so it might want to have some supports. So this is kind of this dual function thing. One, it's going to be more believable when you add realistic elements like supports, flying buttresses, but it also is an interesting architectural element that makes the map more intriguing and more interesting. It's not just a reality thing. It's also a fantastical thing, right? When adding in things like that, it makes it more interesting. Your composition will be far more interesting when you add those kind of elements. So when I'm making a flying buttress, what I'll do is I'll probably turn merge shapes off so I don't accidentally have to continue to edit and change things. So I'll start with the basic shape first, which is we want to create a pillar in which the buttress is going to sit upon. So I'll go over to the shape here, and I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to create that first step, which is right here. Here's the tower part. I'm going to turn merge shape on, my mistake. Actually, I do want to merge these parts. My mistake. So here's the pillar part of the flying buttress. The next part is to make this the buttress part that's going to connect against the wall. So we'll use the line tool here. We're going to go up like this. It's okay if that top part is straight. It's the bottom part that you start adding the curve to. And so what I'll do to add that curve is I'll select it and then go to here like this. And then I'm going to click and hold like this. And now I can go in and rotate like this. And now I can add in, go plus, and now I have a nice buttress right here like this. Okay, and then the next part we can consider doing is usually there's a little arch, another supporting arch that takes place in the buttress. So we can go like this, and we'll create a circle like this, and then we'll go to preview like this. I'm going to go in, I'm going to create a little, let's turn snap to grid off. I don't really need that here. And I'll push this a little bit, push this down, this a little bit. Okay, let's go up a little bit more this way, and then we'll go to minus. And so you have this nice arch right here. Let's add a little bit more detail to it. So I'll go to add. We'll make sure the shapes are merged here. Oopsie, let's go back to snap to grid, my mistake. Oopsie, let's see here. What approach do I... Actually, I think this is actually okay. I kind of like that arch. I think it looks interesting. Okay, that's done. Let's add one more buttress to this tower right here. This tower is super tall, so we probably want to create a buttress to kind of keep that up. So let's add in a tall buttress right here. Remember that trick here. Ooh, you know, one thing I did forget to mention is usually there is the column goes further up, actually. I just realized I made that mistake. The column goes a little bit further up, like that. There we go. And we'll add details to that later. Okay, let's go here. Let's go with the shape tool, or the line tool. Shape with the pen, my mistake. We'll create the arch that goes up. We'll connect here, click hold, then rotate. Press enter. Oopsie, my mistake. I did not want to do that. Plus, actually, I think that's okay. Okay, so you have a buttress there. Let's go ahead and create the next part of the tower. Let's go here. Let's have this part go up a little bit like this. There we go, up. There we go. Okay, that looks good. All right, so we have the buttresses on each side. That looks good. You can always add more buttresses too, if you wanted to. Like this one right here, I can copy and paste this buttress because it's not attached. And I can add a series of towers on top of each other. A series of them like this if you wanted to have a whole bunch of them. They kind of just go up the side. It is a taller tower. It's totally understandable. But I think here where the buttress is fine.